Hey, everybody. Welcome to the MURCA Guns and Freedom podcast. As always, this is just an open conversation between myself and my viewers, and it's a place where viewers can talk to other viewers. Feel free to ask whatever question you want, suggest whatever topic you want. It doesn't have to be gun related. I'll do my best to answer it. And if I can't answer it, maybe someone in the live chat can. So pay attention to the live chat and feel free to talk amongst yourselves all you want over there. I like to start the chat, as always, by reading people who have ordered merchandise to help support the Pets and Vets program, or TYMP, depending on what merchandise they buy. We got Jay Basham, got a Guns Don't Kill People, the Government Does shirt. And Carrie Payton got a Will Do Hand Stuff for Guns and Ammo. Haven't sold one of those in a very long time. I think I only sold two when I made it, and now I made another one. Sold another one. So it sounds like it's a girl. So fellas, you got a chance, maybe. Cammy, that's a girl's name, right? I mean, Cameron can be a boy's name or a girl's name, but Cammy, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a girl or a female, I should say, because people get up touchy about boy, girl, man, woman. It's female. We'll just start using male and female. X chromosome, X chromosome, XY chromosome. Is that an XY or an XX? And in rare occasions, it might be an XXY or an XYY. If it's an XYY, run. Just run. It's the best thing you can do. The others don't bother me so much. But the XYY, that's pretty scary. So thanks to those people for ordering merchandise to help support the programs. I got distracted a little bit there. Also, if you want to be part of our channel, you want to be a posse member, perhaps even a deputy, you want to buy merchandise like my Be a Sheepdog, Not a Sheep, or the I Like Guns and Animals, People Not So Much, or one of the other hundreds of designs I got over there. Feel free to go over to my website, tympistolproject.com. And there's links there where you can do everything. You can become a Patreon member. You can become a Subscribe Star member. You can donate on a single basis. You can go buy merchandise from my Shopify store. You can sign up to be a recipient of TYMP, which we just released the other day. Let me read those names again here. Just, so we do it again. Let's see. And I sent the emails out today. Hopefully people will be getting back with me. The people are Frederick G, Nana S, Jeremy A, Mikhail J, Nina, and Tammy T. Those are the recipients this month. Hopefully they'll all get back to, well, hopefully not all at once, because that's a lot to buy. Especially when we're short on funds. But okay. All right, now let's get over to the questions. I'm a little distracted today for some reason. I don't know what. My son keeps distracting me with questions about fixing a mirror that I told him not to buy. I said, don't buy that flashy aftermarket piece of crap. Stick with OEM. He bought the flashy aftermarket piece of crap. And we happen to replace the LEDs in it today. And I'm like, I'm not happy about it. All right. We got a question coming in right away from Mark Lopez, whose kisses taste like tacos. My kisses taste like tacos. He said, for the pets, fuck Phil for taking me off the crawl at the end of the videos. Or should you be on the crawl at the end of the videos? If you're supposed to be on there, he shouldn't have taken you off. Did you ever order any merchandise from Phil? You got to buy something from the Phil store. I don't see anything in my orders over here. He didn't take you off. You took yourself off. If you're on the Save the 40s, you're still on some of the videos, like you've still been on the one today, because it's still on gun watching. I don't know about Professor. I don't know if it's on the Professor video. Because I got different intros for different types of videos. You all know that. I like to make little cutesy intros. So yeah, I don't know. Looks like we got an order come in. Let me see what that order was. It looks like it was John M. Mandrick. What did he get? I don't know. It's not showing up. I thought I just saw it come in though. I do this all the time. I think I see something, I read it wrong, and then I don't know what's going on. But I thought he just ordered something. Why is it not uploading? Not updating? I don't know. John Mandrick placed order. I think it was for car magnets. Why is it not showing up on my thing over here? It's not updating for some reason. There it did. It updated now. Pending. He got a Waddle car magnet. He got 2 of them, though, so at least he's not paying for shipping on just one magnet. Let's see. Let's get back over to the questions here so I can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Where am I? What's today? The 19th. We got Robert Lush paid his $2 tithe to Phil. Pay your tithe to Phil, you losers, if you don't want Lyme disease. Old Mark Lopez just should be glad that Phil didn't give him Lyme disease, like Peter DeBoner. Local shop here in Kentucky is currently being sued by families of a mass shooter. They feel the shop should have known he was up to no good. Absolutely crazy to me that the lawsuit is moving forward. Well, it'll probably get thrown out. If he passed a 4473, then the gun shop's got the perfect legal defense. The government told me he's good. They're the ones that have taken it upon themselves to decide who can and can't exercise their rights that they're infringing upon. So when they decide someone can, I mean, who's a private person to say they can't? That's one thing I do know. It is a good defense in court. Paul Bidenbach said, all hail Phil. See, he don't want Lyme disease. The 4473 is bullshit. Law-abiding citizens have the right to buy a gun, but not the right to buy from me. I feel uncomfortable with it. If I feel uncomfortable with them, no. I agree. Not for me, you know. As a private citizen, I shouldn't have to do anything for you. It's like you have a right to free speech, but you don't have a right to it on my yard. In my yard, I can say, if you come in my yard, shut your mouth, and if you open it back up with that garbage, you're gone. So, and that's not a violation of your First Amendment rights. I'm not the government. I can infringe. I'll infringe on whatever. I tell my son all the time, you're about to get some heavy duty infringement. Because my son will say sometimes, my First Amendment right, say what I want. I'm like, you're about to get infringed upon. I just read that. Yes, that's from Paul Biden. I don't know why I saw chicken videos earlier. I was watching a whole string of chicken videos, so now I got the. And there's one. I don't know if anybody's seen it. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. It's about a guy talking about they just put in a paved road, and there's a big fence where they put the blacktop. And now they can't close the fence because the blacktop's higher than the ground was. And he says, what do you think, Ricardo? And Ricardo, for some reason, goes, at least that's what it sounds like he says. So if you haven't seen that, look it up. It's funny. That's one of the reasons I'm saying that and kind of giggling like a little schoolgirl. Where was I at? Let me get back to where was I at. Who did I just read? Paul Bidenbach. Michael C3PO paid his tithe to Phil and says, hey, Yankee, glad to catch you live. Well, about time. There's no excuse for not being here. Kevin Payton, I'll need a note from your doctor if you don't show up for the chats. Let's see here. Kevin Payton says, hail Phil. A few days ago, I said, all hail Phil. Friday, a storm hit, lost 7 power poles, 24 hours without power. So I am doubling down on my tithe. Yes, you probably should. But none of those poles fell on your house, did they? Your house didn't burn down. Phil protected you. You see, that's how it works. Phil protected you. Now, if one of them poles had hit your house and you were a devoted Phil supporter, well, he's just testing your faith. Making sure you're faithful, because then he's got rewards planned for you later if you're faithful. That's how it works. Remember, that's how religion works. Pretty sure. Not an expert, but pretty sure. But that was Kevin Payton. John and Mandrick chimed in and said, does being hammer fired make up for a gun being polymer? Well, it does help. I will say that. I would much rather have a hammer-fired polymer gun than a striker-fired all-metal gun. So I guess in a way, it does help. it actually puts it in the hierarchy a little higher than a striker fired gun. I'm writing down hierarchy hammer fired, but I'll never remember what I meant by that. I write down stuff all the time, and then I'm like, what the fuck was that? What did I mean by that? That makes no sense whatsoever. And plus, sometimes it's hard to read my shorthand. Especially when I'm doing it with a big marker. Sometimes shorthand becomes very hard to read with a big marker. But yes, I would rather have a polymer framed hammer fired gun than I would like a CZP something than I would an all metal striker fired gun. I don't like strikers. They're scary. They make me scared. I don't like them. I don't trust them. I don't think they're trustworthy. So I don't like them. Who was that just asked that question? Yeah, that was Johnny Mandrick just asked that. Johnny Mandrick just asked that question. Then he bought something. And then Michael C3PO chimed in and said, leave a super. I read that already. Hello, Yankee and Friends. If you had to choose a gun-related name for a female cat, what would it be? This cat is theoretical. Otherwise, I would send pictures. Okay, so it's not a real cat. It's only a cat that exists in your head. It's your imaginary pet cat. Now, you know the cat's imaginary, though, right? Or it's not like a real cat that you've convinced yourself is imaginary. Like you'd like, man, is that really a cat? Am I seeing that? Because there could be problems that way. But I don't know. I'd have to sit and think for names for a female cat. That was Mabel was named after a female gunslinger. Let's see. You'd have to think of like a gun thing. Like what's you don't want to name her like Hammerstrut or nothing like that. You just got to think of something gun related, like a gun model or something, or a gun maker, or this black cat. Beretta would be a cool name for a black cat. But if it's an orange cat, that's going to be hard. I'd have to sit and think about that for a while because I put a lot of effort into naming my animals. So I would have to think about it because you got to live with that name forever once you give it to, 10, 15 years usually. So that's really a difficult question. People in the live chat, start weighing in with things you think and address it to Michael C. Lurigio, whatever it is, C3PO, I say. But send them in the live chat there. Put in some suggestions. Female orange cat, gun-related name. Or was that Clinton Barella? Who was it just asked that? No, that was C3PO. So missed the beginning of the chat. I don't want Phil to get angry. Well, you paid your tithe. He's not going to get angry. You'll be all right. He don't care if you see the whole chat. I mean, if you just paid your tithe and didn't come, he wouldn't even care if you came. Michael C3PO chimed in again and said, Lee, if you and your wife were not able to work yourselves up to the upper middle class, would you still have adopted children? Well, no, if I couldn't afford to raise children, I wouldn't adopt the children. If I wasn't going to be able to provide for the children, I wouldn't have children. Luckily, we could provide for children. But no, if I couldn't provide for a child, I wouldn't have a child. I wouldn't take on a child. Now, unless, of course, it's like the child circumstances were really bad. Like they were living in a filthy, unloving, maybe even violent environment. And it was either that or come live with us. Well, then, yes, I would adopt a child because I would still give them a better home than that. We would give them love and support and maybe not new Levi's all the time, even though I would love to, but we'd give them what they had to have and give them the emotional support they needed. But if I couldn't afford a child, I wouldn't have children. Let's just say that. But if a child was in a worse situation than what I could provide them, even if it's going to make life a little harder for us, it's worth it. Because hell, my kids have made life harder for me. I'm paying, if I wasn't paying for their car payments, I could afford a whole lot more stuff. I could do a lot more things. We could travel more, all kinds of stuff. But yeah. So I guess maybe I'm changing my answer as we go. I might still have gotten kids because there's kids out there in really bad situations that I think we could have helped them out of and given them a better life. So probably yes. I wouldn't have given birth to any if I couldn't afford to take care of them. I wouldn't create children that were someone else's fault. Plus, I don't want stretch marks. So I probably wouldn't have children anyway. But adopting probably still would, because I still think we could give them a better home than a lot of people could, even if we weren't financially stable. We would make do somehow. Kevin Payton chimed in and said, skull shaver, the time saver, 90 seconds and you're done. What? I don't shave my head down to my skull. I'm not like bald, so I just trim it short. I trim it to like 3/8 of an inch up here, and then or about a ½ inch up here, and then 3/8 inch around here, then a 1/4 inch around here, 1/8 inch at the bottom, and then I feather in my beard. I'm not shaving my head. Luckily, I don't have a funny shaped head. I feel bad for people who shave their head and then they got a funny shaped head. Like it's either shaped like an egg or a peanut. Oh, God, the peanut's worse. You've seen the people that got the peanut shaped head? The top of their head looks like a peanut, like a legume. All right, where was I at? PGAR chimed in, says, I'm always saddened when I sell. Not me, really. I'm not always sad when I sell a gun. Sometimes when I sell, almost always when I sell a gun, I'm selling it to get another gun. So I let the excitement of getting the new gun just kind of wash over the any kind of regret selling the old one. Focus on the positive. You got to, what is that song? Accentuate the positive. Something the negative. You know, what is that song? I forget. Not Bare Necessities. There's another one. Yank, I'm becoming a U.S. citizen next month. Not if I got anything to say about it, which I don't got nothing to say about that. I'm becoming a U.S. citizen next month after 10 years here. I want to get a nice 1911 and 45. What's better under 1.5K? Springfield, Dan Wesson, maybe. If you can find a Dan Wesson, get the Dan Wesson. They're the best. But Springfield makes some really good 1911s. If I was going to buy it to commemorate being in the USA, I'd make sure to get one made in the USA. But yeah, there's all kinds of options. Maybe you get a Smith & Wesson. They make some really pretty ones for under that price. Maybe get you a Camp Guard from Kimber. Can you get that for that price? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the prices on 1911. Been a while since I bought a 1911. Probably don't know if I'll ever buy a 1911 again, because I've got several. How many 1911s do I need? I don't carry them, so I don't carry a 1911, so I don't know if I need it. Let's see if we're caught up over here on all the super chats. Kevin Payton was the last one. He still is, so yes, we're caught up over there. We're caught up over here. John 7M7, that's the one who was just becoming a citizen, so he was last over there. We're caught up over there. Let me get back over here. Where am I at? How far up can I go? I would go. All right. Oh, I got emails to share. I forgot about the emails. Let's do the emails real quick. And then we're going to go a few minutes long because we started late. So hopefully I'll get to some of the other questions. Present, share screen, Winder. Here's the first email. Where'd it go? Where'd the email go? Oh, there it is. Edward Howard and something. Palmetto State's got the. Oh, I can't show this. Good God, I'll get in trouble. What am I thinking? I'll have to edit that out later. I'll get myself in trouble. The let's go on to something else, and I'll have to edit that out. I keep forgetting this is not a free country, or not on YouTube anyway. Here's the new Phil Loves You patch. It hasn't been sewn onto a back yet, but there's the new Phil Loves You patch. That'll be available for purchase here soon. And then we got this one here from Fire Goozy. He got his Mavis tumbler and Mavis hat. He's a big Bulldog fan. She's got her Smith & Wesson 586 L comp there in her paw. Oops, I've hit the wrong button. Let's see here. Share screen. Let's see what's next here. Then we got one from Joe Pearson, who said, got this handmade Indiana Jones style holster for my Colt Viper. Well, that looks cool. That's kind of cool. I'd like to walk around looking like Indiana Jones too. Oh, and there's a kitty. There's a crazy kitty. He got an electric blanket. How cold is it there? That kitty looks like he's enjoying it though. But I don't have a Colt Viper, so F you, Joe. Got something I don't have. I don't got to tolerate that. It's not fair. I deserve it more, I think. Don't y'all agree? I deserve it more than some guy living in a vat somewhere underground, believing he's in Iowa. I think so. All right, let's get back over to the questions. The vids are from 2014. Government cover-up had to disappear the 20 computer scientists that defect to China, or China might have black. That's all bullshit. I don't believe none of that. It's all made up garbage. Hey, Yankee. Hey, everybody. Multnomah County officials say from now on they will only hand out tents and tarps during severe weather events. They hope this will reduce the number of encampments. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. In Australia, a surfer got his SUV stolen because he put his car key under the wheel arch. Apparently, many surfers put their keys under there, and car thieves have caught on to this. Well, that's nothing new. People used to do that all the time. Used to set it either on top of the back tire, or in the wheel arch, or up like on the fender arch, or up in the backside of the bumpers. Remember when bumpers used to be separate? We used to stick our keys up inside the bumper at the back, or have one of those little black magnet boxes that you just kept to the frame somewhere. I think that's better because it could be anywhere under the car and be a lot harder to find. So I still did that on my Jeep because it had manual locks and you could actually lock yourself out. I had one of them little metal magnet boxes on there that I had a key that just opened the doors. It didn't start the car or nothing, because it was if I ever locked myself out of the car, I could get in there and open the door and get back in and get my keys without having to cut through a top or break a window. I had a hard top. One time I had a soft top, then I had a hard top. Let's see here. Here in Florida, I heard you can carry without a CCW, but if that person wants to keep it on the wall, it should be active or could be expired and doesn't matter. I have no idea what he just said. Is it true that if you pull the circuit breaker from your vehicle starter, the car thief won't be able to start the car? Pull the circuit breaker? You mean pull the fuse? Well, if you pull your fuse, your car's not going to start or do nothing. If it's just to the starter, if there's just to the starter, well, then it wouldn't start. If there's no fuse, I think he means fuse, because there's not circuit breakers in cars. There's fuses. We don't take kindly to no Yoko's acting out of the ordinary around these parts. No gun for you, heavy infringements afoot around here. Okay. Geez, the Alzheimer's hitting hard today. No harder than normal. Female cat name: Beretta, Remy, Siggy, Kimber, Nina, Millie, Trigger, Sniperella. Sniperella, I kind of like. Where am I at? Did you check your emails? I sent one earlier. I think I saw your email. Didn't I? Yes, I showed the merch. Yes. The super chat blocked the price. Good. I'm glad it covered it. Is SCOTUS going to let Snope and Ocean State die on the wire? If not taken before the summer break, they are dead. How many more years for next and nothing? I have no clue what they're going to do. My ex put the magnetic key holder underneath the car on the muffler. She locked herself out one day at a funeral. The box was melted all over the key. Had to find a hammer. That must have been a plastic one. Always get the metal ones. Don't get the little cheapy plastic ones. Get the ones that are made out of aluminum. It's the ones I always get, the aluminum ones. Plus the little cheap plastic ones, the magnets in them are really weak. If you get the good one, I mean, I know they're more expensive, and you usually get them at like an auto parts store, not at Walmart. The ones at Walmart are usually plastic, and the magnet ain't very strong. But if you go to like AutoZone and get one of the heavy duty ones, they're made of aluminum, so they ain't gonna melt. And the magnet is, you got to like pry it off stuff when it gets stuck to them. Some new cars have 12-volt circuit breakers, push button for reset. I don't know if that's true or not. I ain't never seen a car with a circuit breaker. I see them all have fuse boxes. What car has a circuit breaker? I mean, I'm sure something, if there's an example of everything that exists, but I'm not aware of it. I was referring to CCW. Sorry, I didn't explain it well. You definitely did not explain it well, because I still don't know exactly, because I don't remember what your comment said. At least not entirely. We're out of time. Let me make sure I got all the questions answered over on the super chats. Boom. Yes, Kevin Payton was the last one. John 7M7 was the last one over here. So we are all caught up. I got one more here, came in last minute from PGAR. Says, name my female cat Winchester. Winnie for short. Well, that makes sense. Winnie, Winchester. Then Pooh says that she can't have a boyish name anyways. Maybe she's a dyke. I'm pretty sure my black cat's a dyke. She's got a dyke attitude. She's very much, leave me alone. When I want attention, I'll tell you, otherwise leave me alone. And she'll play hard to get out time. She'll come in like today. She ran up and like mock charged me sideways and went, meow, and then ran. And I had to go chase her. And then she acted like she didn't want to be held when I got her. I'm like, you intentionally enticed me to chase you. The big black boxes and fuse boxes under the hood are usually circuit breakers. I've never, ever seen a circuit breaker in a car. I've seen the big square trips and signal boxes and stuff, but I've never seen a circuit breaker. It's always fuses. Let's see here. All right, that's it for today. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks for participating in our earlier chat. Thanks for participating in the after chat. Thanks, everybody who helped support the channel. I appreciate it. If you bought merch or did a super chat, whatever. If you are Christian Carlson, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.